What is up, guys? So, I'm making this presentation to explain to you how the mind works, what is the mind, understanding it, and then using it to your own benefit. So, this is literally what I've used to change myself from the skinny guy to the fit guy, the guy who wasn't a good baseball player to a good baseball player, the guy like everything that I've ever gotten, it all starts with the mind, bro. Like the mind is so powerful. It's such a powerful tool. And a lot of people don't know how to use it, don't know like what it is, what it's about. It's like it's crazy to me that some people just really do not know this. To me, it just seems simple enough. But again, in a world where you have school, you have work, you have chores, you have things to do, you have bills to pay. Some of y'all may have kids, some of y'all may have a whole bunch of friends or a huge family to please. It's hard to understand these things. So, presentation is called Mind Matter. Um, and yeah, let's get into it. So, first things first, there are two parts of the mind. There is the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. The subconscious mind, to put it simply, is the automatic mind. Essentially, most of your habits are formed from this side of your brain. This side of your brain is what stores memories, is what stores different habits, it's what stores different actions. It's what you've been doing for like forever, right? 90% of people live on this side of their mind. And you might be thinking, like, well, what does that really mean? Essentially means that most of what you do every single day, you may even go multiple days thinking it this way. It's all like every action and habit stems from the subconscious mind, as crazy as that may sound. And so things like waking up, making your bed, brushing your teeth, making coffee, making breakfast, driving to work, doing the work, going back home, having dinner and cleaning your dishes. That doesn't take that much thought, especially if you've done it continuously for multiple different like years. It's like it doesn't take too much to think about these things. It's like you've always done them. It doesn't take you to like think, right? And then you have the other side, which is the conscious mind. This is the more manual side. This is what takes effort to think. This is what these are like new experiences, new emotions, a new activity, something that you've never done before that take awareness. I was gonna say consciousness, but that take awareness, that take you physically paying attention, being present. It comes from your conscious mind. So this side takes you to take some thought to actually use. You use this part of your brain less than 10% of the time. And so what I'm basically saying is 90% of the time, you don't really think. You're just doing the thing that you've always done, right? And only 10% of the time do you actually think of like new ideas, new things, and you actually put some effort into learning something new, right? Now again, I'm not saying that like there's anything wrong with living on the subconscious mind, right? Everybody lives that way. Could you imagine thinking all the time about how you're going to wake up, at what time you're going to wake up, if you want to brush your teeth or not, if you want to breathe, if you want to pump your heart? Like, imagine thinking about doing all these things manually, like being aware. It would take way too much time to think. And so your brain divides all the things that you've already done for years on end and just does do them all automatically, without you thinking. Any sort of new behavior, new habit, new activity will come from the conscious mind where you're actually aware, right? So, two parts of the brain, the subconscious and conscious mind. Here's the problem with this sort of like mindset, right? I just said it wasn't a problem, but for some of us, it's going to be a problem. Most people live in the past. Joe Dispenza, this guy who literally, um, I think he got in this like car accidents. His spine was like broken. He literally fixed his entire spine with just thinking about it. Crazy. You should look into it. I read some of his books, but he calls it the past present self. Most people live in the past. In the past, they takes their present, and so they're living on the constant past, right? And you might be thinking, well, no, like the past was yesterday and stuff that happened. It was just in the past. It doesn't have anything to do with the present. Well, your past creates your present more than you actually may think about it. So we look at some examples, things like your traumas. This could be the father not being present, the mother not being present, not having as much love when you were younger, or something happened in school, bullying. This could be pain. This could be like you failing at a certain point, or you getting a certain injury, and now you don't want to play sports, right? It could be hardships. It could be going through some very hard times during your younger years, to where it's like you've gone through just so much stuff as like a younger person, that like now it's like you don't want to go through that because it was very hard. It could be family issues, things like I mentioned, like father not being present, not being loved. This could be people potentially dying, early on. It could be a whole bunch of stress. A lot of people say that stress is good to a certain extent, yes, but to be quite honest with you, when you are stressed the F out all the time, that has a certain effect on you, right? And I said etc. because there's plenty of different issues that happen into our lives, not only when you're younger, but also in your teens, also in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Like, the past has such a great effect on us that if we don't take into account how it is affecting us, we're simply living in the past. And you might think about like how certain habits that you do, certain actions that you do, has a lot to do with your past, bro. And people don't think about that stuff all the time. So the past creates you. Let me oppose this question, right? Um, Nobody, or not this question, but nobody wants to be out of shape, bro. Like, let's be for real. Nobody wants to be out of shape. It is so stupid when these people who live in this body positivity movement, or people who try to make excuses as to being fat isn't so bad. Like, being out of shape fucking sucks, bro. Let's be for real. Nobody wants to be in shape. No, or sorry, nobody wants to be out of shape. In on both sides, bro. Whether you're super skinny like I was, or whether you're super fat like some of you are watching this video, on both sides sucks. When I was super skinny with no muscle, nobody respected me, nobody liked me, nobody saw me as just like a regular human being. They looked at me as such, like this nobody, bro. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but I got bullied because of that. And it's like, nobody wants to be on that side, but nobody wants to be fat. When I was at my biggest at 220 pounds, bro, waking up, I was tired. Walking, I was tired. Going up the stairs, I was tired. Going down just to tie my damn shoes, I was tired. It's like both sides freaking suck, bro. Like, nobody can make a good argument that being out of shape is good. Unless you're like looking to do bodybuilding and you have to be at a super low body fat, or maybe you want to do strongman and you have to be fat because the bigger that you are, the more weight that you can carry. But either way, bro, both sides of it still freaking suck. Being a super low body fat, you have really low energy, your testosterone is crashed, you don't want to do much. But then on the other side, where you're really big, it's like, yeah, like cool, you're strong and all that, but still, you have to eat a shit ton of calories. You're pushing like your body to its like absolute limit, and it just fucking sucks. But why are people out of shape, right? When I just discussed that nobody wants to be out of shape, why are people out of shape, right? Like, it's just like a lot of people online will say things like, "Oh well, like it's your fault, and like it's you, and you have the responsibility to not be, a fat fuck and whatever." It's like, yeah, I do agree with that, but it's like, when we really think about it, those people don't want to be fat. So what is it that's like getting them to that point? Like, what is that one thing that's just making them eat a crazy amount of calories? They're still living in the past, right? They're still living from those traumas, those hardships, that pain in the past, and it's having an effect on them today in the present, right? So it's like I mentioned earlier, your past creates your presence. Because when you get down to it, it's like there's certain habits, there's certain behaviors, there's certain things that just came about. You've consistently done them, and you haven't really thought about it, right? One day it was maybe one cookie, or maybe it was one scoop of ice cream, maybe it was just one burger. But after a while, everything just stacks upon that. But it's like What made you decide on that one cookie one day? It has to do with something in the past, something that your subconscious mind has been subdued to so many different times. You haven't overcome it, you haven't moved past it. And so now your way of kind of dealing with that issue is food. Your way of dealing with whatever sort of problem you have is not exercising. It's not becoming the best version of yourself. It's like food, or it's like not exercising, or it's like giving excuses. It's like your past has such a big it's such a big dictator of who you are today that you don't even realize it, right? Because it's like I mentioned, nobody wants to be out of shape. Nobody wants to eat that amount of food as well, bro. Like when you get like really big, food doesn't even taste as good. Like truthfully, yeah, when you're super skinny, freaking cake is just awesome. But when you're like pushing 250, 300, like whatever weight, it's like nobody wants to be at that body weight, and the food doesn't even taste that good, right? So here's the thing: most people do not escape their past after 25 years old. This should freak you out. It scares me, and it's a scary thought. It's a scary thing to think about. That like by the time you're 25 years old, if you've been hanging around with a certain girl, if you're working at a certain job, if you've been going to school for a certain thing, it's very hard for you after you're 25 to say, I'm going to do something completely different, or I'm going to move past from the actual past. Like it's very hard to move past all these different things in your life, bro. And it's not a exact science, right? Like I'm not saying that you can't become somebody great after you're 25 or you're 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, etc. But what I am saying is it is much likely way harder to do so because the first 25 years of your life you've done multiple things on repeat, and your brain only wants to fall to the subconscious mind. It does not want to consciously think or be aware all the time. And so the same habits, the same actions, the same just whatever you've done in the past is what you're going to keep doing after you're 25. Again, there are people that get their lives together after 25 or when they're 30 or 40 or 60. You have guys like Colonel Sanders, who's like I think he was like 67 when he made a KFC, right? But it's like, yeah, you have those people, those exceptions, but it's very unlikely, bro. And so it's very crucial that not only do you get your life in order, or not only do you get your life in order before 25, but also like now, bro. If you're watching this, you have to understand you've been running the same program. Every single thing that you've done up to this point has been the exact same program. The reason why you go to that same bar, that same club, that same restaurant, the reason why you do something in the morning, the reason why, like, every single thing that you have done is because you've been running the exact same program for years now, bro. For years. The past still holds a certain the past still holds a certain say on who you are today, whether you want to admit it or not. It does. And you've been running the exact same program, right? And that's why if you see some of my stories, some of my Instagram reels, I call it a cycle, right? It's just this constant cycle of just waking up 9 to 5, dinner, same thing tomorrow. Waking up, dinner, 9 to 5. Waking up 9 to 5, dinner. Waking up 9 to 5, dinner. So on and so forth. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's 9 to 5. Get ready for the club. Hit the clubs, hit the bars. Do it again Saturday. Sunday, you're hungover, but do whatever you have to do. It's like it's the same fucking cycle, bro. It's like that shit just pisses me off just thinking about how you're living, just doing the exact fucking thing, living off the same freaking program. And it sucks, right? It fucking sucks. I want to pose you a question. Can you see how people can be stuck in their own cycles? With everything that I just mentioned, how the past dictates who you are today, how your traumas, your hardships, and all that have kind of have a say so in who you are in the present, in the now, right? So hopefully the answer is yes. What do we do now? right? I just spent the first like 10 slides telling you how you're kind of just cooked, and that you like, yeah, you just can't do this because you're past, right? Just kidding. But what do we do now, right? Now that we have this understanding, we know that the past dictates our present, um, and we see how it can lead us to live in a certain cycle. It's like, what do we do now? Like, obviously, this isn't, you know, the end, right? There's still more to it. I then just kind of bring all this stuff in your face to not give you a solution. So there's two steps to this, right? And I did this by myself. I had nobody, but if you have somebody with you, it would be better, right? I think it's just generally better to do this with somebody. But anyways, step number one: who are you right now? Like, who are you? What do you look like? How do you act? What's your disciplines? What's your actions? What's your habits? Where do you work at? You know, why do you work there? Why do you look like that? Why is it that, you push it off for later? Like, ask yourself, who are you, bro? And I'm not just saying go like surface level, like, hi, my name is Brandon, and I like to train. It's like, no, like, who are you really? Who are you? Go within. I don't mean this to just, be funny and make it like into a joke. It's like, literally go within. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why again. Ask yourself why. Go so freaking deep that you start to realize why is it that you are in these certain places, right? Like, how did you get here? What led you to being here? What actions led you to, not be in the positions that you want to be? You have to go deep with this stuff, bro. The people that make it the furthest with these presentations are the ones that are literally gonna nonstop ask themselves questions, bro. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna give you some examples. When I did this, the reason why I started to this whole like mindset journey is because I was heartbroken. This was like the first girl that I like. It was like my first love. I loved this girl, and then we broke up, and that shattered me. And at first, I just started pointing fingers, like, no, it's her fault. It's her. She's this. She hurt me. And then one day, I just went within. I was like, who am I? And I started to think about all the times that I've messed up in our relationship. All the times that I did things that were wrong. All the times that I messed up. All the times where I saw red flags developing, but I didn't do anything about them. I remember all the times that she did things to me, but before she did those things, there were certain signs that I saw, but I didn't do anything about it. And I just started going within, and I was just so deep, and it's like the more I went within, like the more it hurt me. Yes, because it was getting like emotions from within that I didn't want to let go, and the more I just started watching it, the more that I started to think about it, the deeper I got. I was like, damn, it's me. It's always been me. The reason why she left me was me. I kept doing things. I kept letting shit go. I kept so many red flags just pass by that of course she broke my heart, right? And I went within again. When I dropped out of college, when I didn't know what to do, when I quit baseball, like for like college, like I didn't like it. It freaking sucked. I was in there listening to teachers who never had a business, never had, none of these things that they're teaching me. They never went really far with it. All they did was just like learn it from a book, and they're teaching me things, and I'm just like thinking about why am I quitting? Why am I quitting? Why am I quitting? And again, it's like it's me. Like I don't want to do this. It's not my teacher. It's not my school. It's like me, bro. Like I wanted to quit when I was playing baseball and I was injured. I had a it wasn't a torn UCL. It was a strained UCL. I got a whole MRI done. They told me it was strained. most likely what they were telling me is when it's strained, sooner rather than later, it's gonna get torn. And that freaked me out. And I didn't like how the coaches were pressuring me, how they were telling me that, like, we want to see you pitch, we want to see you try. It felt like I was just doing everything, and then I quit because I didn't love it. And for a while, excuse me, for a while, I blame my injury. I blame my coaches. I blame my parents for, because at some point in time when you're like a bit older and you're getting injured, my parents were saying, "Hey, listen, like treat baseball as a hobby. Don't treat it as your main thing. Go to school, learn something, and then get a career." And I'm sitting here and I'm telling them, "No, like this is what I want to do. Why are you telling me that take this as a hobby?" And all these things were going on, and I was going through this heartbreak. Like this heartbreak was about to happen. Like I could tell. And it's like all these things started to crash down. And then I just started pointing finger. No, mom, it's your fault. Dad, is your fault. Coaches, is your fault. Injury is your fault. But it's like, no, it's me. Like everything was me. I was at the center of everything for why my life was going in the places that I didn't want to go. And it was hard for me to listen to this, bro. Trust me, it was hard for me to accept this fact, bro. And that's why it took me some time to kind of do this, like to go in like within. It took me multiple, and I mean multiple days, weeks, even months. Because every single time that I got to a point to where I didn't want to answer a certain question, and I knew that I was gonna start to cry, I just said, you know what, never mind. And then I went and then something else. And then I came back and again I started to ask myself why, right? And again, the answer is me. Here's what you have to do, bro. This is not gonna take 1 day, 1 hour. This is going to take effort every single day for you to do this, right? Listen, I'm not a therapist, I'm not certified. This is what I did to move on, bro. This is just me, my technique, what I did, my method, right? You can have other method, other way to go on about it. If you want to read other books, by all means, bro. This is what I did. I forgave people. I forgave my parents. I forgave my coaches. I forgave my girlfriend. I forgave my friends. I forgave everybody. It was no longer like, no, it's your fault for leaving me. It's like, listen, I did some things that led you to doing that, right? And I forgive you for it. It's not my parents are so bad. It's like, listen, the actions that I've taken from dropping out of school, doing things that are unrealistic, like playing baseball in college when nobody in my household, nobody in my family has ever played a sport. In college, it's very hard to understand that. By the way, I forgive you. My coaches, same thing. I forgive you. My friends, I forgive you. I understand that our friendship was built on just baseball. Now that I'm no longer playing it, you no longer want to mess with me. That's okay. I forgive you. And I forgive everybody, bro. I don't hold any grudges. I'm not out to, try to try to get like revenge, but I just forgive you. I moved on, bro. I moved on. I was so held on to this girl. I was so held on to the um what is that called? Like I was so like I wanted people to like me. I wanted to be there for everybody and I wanted people to be there for me. But at some point in time I just moved on. Every single gift that my girl got me, I threw it away. Every picture that we took together, I deleted it. Every video that we took, I deleted that as well. Just all those things, I just moved on. I understood this woman was never going to be in my life ever again, and I just moved on. And I let go. I let go of this mindset that like my my past was going to dictate my future. I let that go. I said, screw that. I took full accountability and accepted reality. I accepted that I was in this position because of me. And I kept doing this like daily, daily. I forgave, I moved on, I let go, and I took full accountability for everything. Everything that is happening in my life today is because of me. And I accepted that reality. And trust me, it was very difficult because when you go within, you truly go with like what's been going on in your life, the hardships, the pains, the traumas, all the stress of life. When you just go through all that, and it's hard for you to grasp that because you then have to accept that, like, because you didn't do certain things, you are here today, and most likely you're not in the position where you want to be at. It's hard to accept that, right? And so there were many weeks, bro, where like literally it was nights of me crying alone by myself. I had nobody there for me. Sorry, I had God. Sorry, sorry. God was with me at that time, but during all that, like it felt like I was just alone, right? And so I kept I kept like rewatching certain clips in my mind, going through different memories, and bro, like trust me, like I sincerely like cried a lot of nights for this. But I kept telling I kept telling myself I just have to let go. I have to move on, and I have to take full responsibility and accept reality, right? So some of y'all might have to pause here and may have to come back in a few weeks or in a few months, right? Because what I'm about to say next, you can only truly use it unless you've kind of gone through all the stuff that I said. So after you've truly done step one, you've let go of your past, you have forgiven the people, you've moved on, you let go, you've taken full accountability, and you've accepted reality for where you are today. What is step two? This is the most exciting part, bro. Run a different program. This is step two. If you've been running the exact same program for the last 20 years, 15, 10, doesn't matter. Run a different program. Bro, it sounds so simple, and it is, but run a different program, right? If you've been living the same program, it has not led you to where you want to be at. Now you've understand that everything is your fault and you've forgiven everybody in the past. Run a different program. So you know how I asked you in step one who you are right now. We kind of went over all that stuff. Step two is going to be, now who do you want to be? Crazy, huh? I just told you who you are right now, and it's somebody who just sucks. We've accepted that reality. Now, who do you want to be? We are no longer held by our past, what our friends told us, parents, girlfriends. Like, we're no longer held by the past. Now, who do we want to be? Right? This is where it gets like fun. This is where like you genuinely change your life for the better. You must have a clear picture of your ideal self, right? You must have a clear picture, a clear vision. You must know how this person looks like, right? How he looks, how he acts, how he thinks, right? Like, how does this person look? Does he have a certain haircut? Does he have a certain beard? Does he wear certain clothes, right? How does he act? Is he charming? Is he funny? Is he likable? Is he angry? Is he smart? How does this person think? How does he think, right? How does this person think? Like, what does he think about? Why does he think this way? Is he right wing, left wing? Is he Republican? Is he, Democrat? Like, how does this person actually think, right? And, oh, sorry, I was interrupted by grandma. But nonetheless, like, how does he think? What does he do? Right? Like, does he work this job? Does he work that job? Does he have a certain business? Why does he do that? Like, what's his why? Like, is it because he wants to help out, poor people? Does he want to help out other people who are, I don't know, like why does he do this? Who is he? Right? Like, if he's to ask himself this question, like, how would he respond to this? And then you have etc. plus, right? You should have a detailed list of who this person is. This should not be like three things, bro. You should have like, you should fill up a page with who it is you want to be. This is not something that's just like one or two things and then just like boom. It's like you must have a detailed picture of who this person is, right? It must be like in your mind. It must be like engraved, right? And the next step is write it down, right? You want to have it on a piece of paper, like literally write down, like, okay, he looks like this, acts like that, thinks like that, why this, how, when, where, whatever. Detail, bro. Be very specific, bro. If there's a certain amount of muscle, there's a certain amount of fat that he loses. If there's just like, be very detailed with who this person is. The more detailed you are, the more likely you are to become this person. The guys who truthfully are gonna take this video, go within, be honest, and then take their ideal self and go like super specific, are the ones that are gonna make it the furthest. You want to look at it daily. You want to put it on your wall, maybe on your desk. You want to maybe put it on your wallpaper, on your phone wallpaper, but you have to look at this daily, right? We have to remember ourselves that the subconscious is just repeated actions, right? It's what you do every single day, it's your habits, right? And so we must look at this every single day. A day must not pass that we do not look at this, right? And lastly is act like him. It sounds so simple. I'm telling you, act like this person every single day. It like every time you are proposed with a certain question, a certain decision, you must ask yourself, how would the best version of myself act? What would the best of my what would the best version of myself do? And you must act like this person because again, the subconscious mind runs off repeatedness, which you do every single day, right? Your repeated actions. So the more times that you look at this daily, the more times that you act like him daily, the more likely it's going to be engraved into your subconscious mind, right? Again, we are no longer held by our past selves. We're past that, right? Now we are creating a new identity. And so you have to essentially brainwash yourself into this new person. Let me give y'all who I wanted to be, my ideal self in the past. My ideal self in the past was Andrew Tate. I was like the biggest fangirl of this dude, bro. Like I'm telling you, I saw the amount of like cars he had, the amount of money he had, the possessions, the women, the status, just the way that he talked, that he moved. That it's like I wanted to be just like him. And so what did I do? I wrote down on a piece of paper all the ways that I wanted to be like Andrew Tate, right? And I wrote down like my best version of myself, right? And bro, it got to a point to where I cut my hair short just to be like him. I would wear just stuff that he would wear. I had certain beliefs that he had, but then I held them to myself. Like I had all these different ways that I wanted to be like him. That like I essentially became a version of him, right? And so like him, I was dating different women. Like him, I was in and out of clubs and bars, hyper masculine. I held some of his strong views, and I believe more in myself than God. Um, and there's obviously like way more into this, bro. But like, I was genuinely obsessed with this dude, right? And so you have a picture of me and my best friend in the club. You have me dating this girl. It's like I didn't really like her like that because Andrew Tate said that like women are just like materialistic objects and you should just treat them as that. And so like though I look kind of happy in this picture, it's like I didn't really care about this girl because again I wanted to be like Andrew Tate, and so I was just obsessed with this dude. Not only that, I would listen to his podcast. I would watch any sort of like videos that he made. I would like all of his Instagram stuff. I remember I found his course online on Reddit and on YouTube. Bro, I watched that multiple times. It's hours of just content on how to get women, how to get money, how to get all these different things. And I wanted to be this dude so freaking much, and my life reflected that, right? And why is that? Because your subconscious mind is so powerful, bro. The more that you obsess about something, that you think about something, that you act like something, that like the repeated actions, bro, is your subconscious mind. You're like, we don't run off your conscious mind, right? At first, yes, it was kind of, it was different. It was hard. I didn't know how to really act like him, but at some point in time, it was just go mode. Like weekends, we go out. If there's this pretty girl, talk to her. If there's a way to go on a date, go out. It's like it was just so in my mind all the time, and it was like this obsession, bro. This unhealthy obsession that made me become more like him. By the grace of God, though, Jesus saved me. Thank God for him saving me. Like, though I did just speak about being like Andrew Tate, I'm, no longer want to be like him. My ideal self is now Jesus. So now I want to be more like him, right? So things that I do now, I read my Bible daily. I pray before making a certain decision. I don't go to bars or clubs. I don't date for fun, but to marry. I fast on occasion, so I'll go a period of time where I won't eat food. I'll go to a church, etc. Now my life resembles Jesus. Now my life resembles, like, my ideal self is Jesus. And so all these different things that I do also reaffirm who it is that I want to be more like, right? And I have a clear vision of who that is. It's Jesus, right? And so these actions reaffirm this person that I wanted to be. Now these new actions reaffirm this new person that I want to be now, right? And so these are just two examples of how, like, the subconscious mind has just, it's just so powerful, bro. It's so powerful, right? I no longer live in the past, right? But now it's like through these actions I reaffirm who I want to be. So now I'm going to pose you another question, and I'm kind of wrapping up here. Now you have a decision to make. I went over how the past dictates your present. How if you don't move forward from your traumas, your hardships, you're never gonna move past far in life. Um, I explained to you how you can move from it, right, and what you can do to change your life. I think another slide that I did want to add here, but I didn't. When people talk about Ozempic and GLP-1 and all these different drugs that, like, can make you skinny, the big reason why I'm not a advocate for those things is because your subconscious mind or your identity is still on this person that is fat. So yes, you will lose weight, you will, drop in waist measurement, and like you'll start to be skinny physically, but mentally, like, your mind is still stuck on this fat person that you are. And so, what's going to happen once you let go of the Ozempic drug or the GLP-1 drug? It's like you're going to revert back to who you've always been because, uh, again, you haven't moved past your past self, right? Let me see this. Because you haven't moved past your traumas, your pains, your hardships, your family issues, your stress, etc. Because you haven't moved past that, you're still like the fat person in your own mind. You're still this person. And so it doesn't matter that physically maybe you have improved. It's like none of that shit matters if you haven't moved past this, because you'll always revert back to your past, because you're your past present self. This is why when people go big, win lottery money, and they spend it all, and then they're freaking broke in 1 to 2 years, it's like they're still their past present self. They still have the habits and in the identity as a broke person, and so they revert back to that. You see it over and over again. It's like when there's just a drastic change in your life, and you haven't done any sort of change inside to keep it, you're gonna revert back to that person. be it you win the lottery or you go on the drug Ozempic, you're still going to revert back to this fat person or this broke person or just anything. That's why it's so important to get this whole like mind stuff right. This is why research shows that like most people who go on a diet regain it back. Why? Because it wasn't about losing the weight physically. It's like mentally, you have to identify with the new person, right? Like your subconscious mind has to understand that like you're no longer a fat person, you're no longer a skinny person, you're no longer whatever the past was. You are a new person, bro. You are a new person, right? And this is what I'm implementing with my clients right now. It's like, yes, we can talk about calories and foods and protein, fats, like we can talk about all that stuff, right? But if you're not mentally there, if you're not mentally changing who you are, you're not adopting a new identity, you will always revert back to the person that you are in the past, right? This is why this is so freaking important, bro. This is so important. Anyways, now you have a decision to make. Which side are you going to lean on, right? And I have this kind of funny picture from this movie, but which side are you going to lean on, right? One side, the angel side, is your ideal self. All the things that we just uh, the described earlier is your ideal self. All the things that you've written down that's in your wall, all the things that you're seeing every day, that is your ideal self. On the other side is the guy that's living in the past present self. The guy that's done all the bad habits, that's not working hard, that's lazy, that's just not disciplined, that's giving out excuses, that's still living in the past. You have that decision to make on which side you want to lean on, right? And so this is my final statement. The presentation is done after this. Every decision you make is for who you want to be, the guy that's just disciplined, that's lean, jack, smart, uh, charismatic Christian, that's just disciplined, that's going to the gym. Every decision you make is for that person I just uh, described to you, the guy as well that you're looking at because you have him attached to your wall, you've written down, you walk, you talk, you look like him, you act like him. If every decision is either for that guy or it's against that person, it's the person that you've always been, it's the person that's just fat, it's the person that you don't want to be like, it's the person that's miserable. Every decision you make is for or against who you want to be. And that's it, bro. You need to rewatch this, bro, multiple times. Like, sorry, if you need to rewatch this multiple times, I highly uh, recommend it. I know I have to kind of do this sort of things for my own mind and for my own future, but literally, bro, you have the power within you to change. The same way that I did to change my life, it's the same way that you have it within you. I'm not more special than you. You've heard me multiple times stutter during this whole presentation. You've heard me butcher the different words. It's like we are all in this together. We have the same power, but now you have that decision to make. Which side do you want to lean on? The decision is yours, bro. I can't make it for you. Your mom, your dad can't make it for you. Your friends can't make it for you. You have to make that decision within yourself. Every decision you make is for or against who you want to be, bro. Every one of them. Thank you so much for watching this. Um, I'm going to be making a lot more educational stuff in the future. I love making these videos. This was like super, super fun. Um, and yeah, rewatch this video as much as you need to. Let me know in the comments if any of this stuff was helpful. And until we see each other again, my brother, God bless and take care.